Welcome. We're back again. This is our third session, and we are covering how to find a marriage mentor. I hope that you have been enjoying this journey as we talk about the big concept of finding a mentor in this class. So today I have the great pleasure of being here with my friend Edgar DeBoo. Again, another OG, been at the church since its existence, before its existence, just around there. And so it's been amazing to have someone like you to be a part of our Marriage Mentors ministry. Now, many of you don't even know what that is. So I'm very glad to introduce that to you as well as Edgar. And so if you could just begin by just telling us a little bit about what Marriage Mentors is.
Oh, sure. Marriage Mentor or Mentors is a ministry where couples are paired with other couples and to help that couple to live life, to walk through conflict, to understand how God would have them live as a married couple, a husband honoring his wife, a wife honoring her husband. So it's pretty much a ministry that we are there to walk alongside couples to make certain that they do not fall in the world's way of living, but to fall into what God has designed marriage to be.
Yeah. And so I take the blame. His wife should be here, but I didn't think about inviting her until the last minute. However, you will hopefully get a chance to meet her at our Zoom session at the end of this week. So
Absolutely.
Something to look forward to. So for now, we have Edgar, and so he's going to give us answers, and she may she may have different answers altogether. But
And she will. And she will. But it's all good.
That's always, husbands always have one perspective and wives have a different. So it's good stuff. All right. So we'll start off by just asking the first question, which is, who needs a marriage mentor?
Honestly, all of us. From a newlywed, a recently married, to one that has been married for 5 years. Even my wife and I, we've been married this year, it'll be 32 years. And there's always something that we can gain or can learn to better our overall marriage. Communication. Each of us deal with conflict. I am the one that don't like to deal with conflict. But just being able to learn the tools and the techniques on how to maneuver through those rough spots is a great asset. So it doesn't matter what spectrum of the marriage cycle you're on, it's for all.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because I think most people think of resources like this only when their marriage is in trouble.
That's correct.
And we just got to stop thinking like that. It's a great opportunity for you when maybe your marriage is plateaued and it's not bad.
That's right.
But it could be better. And so invest in your marriage by using this. And we are talking in some of our other sessions about how many of us don't have a model, right? And so I find that this is significant because many people have not been in a family where they had both parents at home. And so they don't know what an authentic relationship between a man and a woman in a healthy marriage really looks like.
Absolutely.
And so to have those mentors is priceless.
Absolutely.
It really is. So, I mean, you look at the movies, you look at sitcoms, they don't give you a picture of what the biblical example of what marriage looks like. And so this provides that opportunity. So tell us, how does it work? How, if I'm interested in doing this thing, me and my wife, we're interested in doing Marriage Mentors, kind of walk us through that.
Well, if let's say you're the couple that you're just wanting to work on your marriage, just make it better. We have many of the marriage mentors here on site, but to get the process started, you would actually go to the visit 1cc.com /marriage-mentors. And there will give you explanation on the Marriage Mentor 101 and Marriage Mentor 201. and it will actually begin the process of inviting you in, seeing what your goals are, and how we can best help you meet your overall marital goals.
Yeah, yeah. So do you get just randomly paired with someone, or how does that work?
Oh no. So once the our prospective mentees express the knowledge, or I'm sorry, express an interest, they will be administered an assessment. And in that assessment, the assessment is basically asking questions about life, how you would respond. And the results of that will be used to help pair you to someone that has similar traits as you. So the wife hopefully will be paired with someone similar with her, as well as the husband. And the purpose of that is to, when you get into various situations, conflict, communications, whatever the marital situation is, you will have someone who is of like mind, like character, and that mentor can provide some guidance on how they would approach that. Being able to have someone that you can pretty much relate to in those areas would make that experience that much more better.
That's huge because you know, if you have a husband that's more like a turtle and kind of withdraws, and his wife is just like, you know, a bear, and she's just like aggressive, you don't want to be paired up with the husband who's aggressive, and you know, the wife that's withdrawn. It's just their dynamic is just going to be different, and they're not going to be able to understand the issues that you're going through. And so to have a really thoughtful way to pair people is really important.
And you mentioned animals, but there are 5 animals, and of course each time I want to articulate them, they slip. But one of them is a lion, or an otter. So if you pair the husband, the wife, with just as you stated, with someone who's totally different, that mentee will not get the experience that they really should get, because they're totally different personalities. So again, the objective, once the couple expresses that interest, is to make certain that we pair them with the right couple, so that their overall experience will be one that they can use to propel their marriage forward.
So how long does the process last? How long do you walk with these couples?
So once the couple has been paired with the mentor, the program usually goes from 9 months to 12 months. It can be shorter, or it can be longer. It all depends on what's going on in the marriage of that couple. You may have to do certain lessons 2 or 3 times. One of the lessons that we find is an interesting one is forgiveness. As we all have some issues at some point of maybe forgiving our spouse, or maybe not necessarily forgiving the spouse, but we have that baggage that we're holding on to that's really affecting what's our relationship here. So in those instances, we may have to delve into that 2-3 times, which will of course delay or extend our overall time with. But generally, 9 months to about a year.
Got it. Now, how does this compare with counseling? Because some people might think, well, you know, we're going to counseling already, so why do we need marriage mentors?
Well, we are by first no counselors. We have not gone to school, studied to be marriage counselors. Our deal as married couples is we're just simply trying to articulate and encourage the married couple that they can overcome any obstacle that come their way. We are there to walk beside them, to walk with them, to give them a biblical instructions based on our format, and provide them with information that will hopefully help them move forward and get away from the mundane stuff of how the world defines marriage,
Yeah.
and help them understand how God defines that marriage.
That's good. That's good. And so, what are the benefits of it? So I get all that. 9 months is a huge investment. What are the benefits that you've seen? If you can give us maybe some examples, some stories of some couples that you had a chance to counsel, and what are your expectations? I think having the proper expectations are really important. So not having like super low expectations, but not also having these super high expectations either.
Well, of course, in terms of a benefit, Kirk, uh, knowing that you are not the only couple in this entire world that have problems,
That's huge.
knowing that you are walking beside another couple, a couple that most likely is more seasoned in years, that you can be vulnerable with, that you can be transparent with. And those are benefits that we believe can help individually as well as collectively. Now, we have mentored several couples over our 10-year extent as marriage mentors.
Wow.
And in that, the couples have come, they've been enriching couples, those who are just wanting to better their marriage. And we have had one couples in crisis, but it's just trying to set the baseline, set the standard of what marriage is all about, what God wants you as a husband to do towards your wife. How are you guys blessing each other? When you first met, what brought you to her? Which brought you to him? And in doing that, in our sessions that we've had with the many couples, by the time we finished the course, they were a lot closer in their walk with God, but also understanding how they needed to really treat one another as their helpmate, their soulmate.
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's really good. I think, I know a lot of couples, and they have not had that training. So we try our best on our end to do premarital counseling, and then they walk into these relationships, and then they suffer, right? And so now this gives them an opportunity to actually see what it should look like.
Right.
And I think that's one of the most powerful things that you guys do, because we've heard the old adage that that knowledge is better caught than taught. And so you can tell somebody that you need to be gentle towards your wife, but they need to see that.
Right.
Like, and so when you are in the context of and I don't know if you guys meet with them in a restaurant or how you do that. So that's probably my next question.
Right.
But they see how you interact with your wife when there's a difference of opinion.
Right.
That how you handle that versus how you don't handle that.
Right.
And so that is a hot thing and not necessarily a taught thing. And
Right.
so that's why it's marriage mentors. It's not like a marriage like lecture or a lecture, something that we kind of can give as a book.
Right.
This is mentoring.
That's it. And in terms of when we meet, we meet the couples twice a month. All right. Usually in the home setting, preferably without any kids, because we want to make certain that as we are having our sessions, that we don't have any additional distractions.
Right.
So we meet either in our home or the mentee's home. I think we, for the most part, have met in our home, with the exception maybe we met at a Starbucks with one of our couples. But that gives us the atmosphere to where we can be vulnerable, that we can share. And to your point about the transparency, this is a great opportunity where we are, if there is a situation that comes up, that we can talk it out and they can see how we are interacting with one another, and maybe that would help them if when they get into that situation, like, okay, the DeBoos did X, Y, and Z. Let's see if we can try this as well.
Right. Well, that's really good. All right. So, success stories. So you've said that you've amazingly been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
So that's a number of couples. So, can you give us maybe some stories about a couple or two that started off and their marriage was rocky, or their marriage was at a certain level, but after engaging them for a while, you were able to see some fruit in their marriage?
For the most part, all of our couples were couples who were looking for more enrichment, just wanted to better their marriages. It's not saying that their marriage was good. It was not saying that their marriage was bad. It was, you used the word plateau earlier. They just reached the point in their marriage where they just wanted to take it to the next level. So by us going through this biblically based process, it's called the Devoted Workbook, a Christian toolkit or framework for marriage. We understand the basics of Christianity: commitment, covenant, forgiveness, yielding to the Holy Spirit, and then being able to move over into what the marriage toolkit is. The conflict, how to communicate, biblical sexuality, biblical finance. So bringing those two together. And in those enriching couples, they may have come in like, at a level that was plateaued, but after having the sessions and being able to really understand how God has designed them individually and how He's designed them together, that has, again, propelled them to excel in their marriage. And we have a number of our couples, if not all, that are doing exceptionally well even after. Because it's not the point that you have the sessions, the mentor-mentee sessions, and then drop the book. It is about going back to those tools and techniques that have been taught, because I guarantee you, even at 32 years, we still have those powwows. And it just, we have to realize that the enemy, of course, is not my beloved wife or me. Is the enemy is the person that, who's trying to come in and tear us apart. So once we recognize that, as well as our couples, we're able to do what God has ordained us to do.
Now, there are certain situations when it's not going to work. So, can you give us an idea of when it doesn't work?
When it's all about them. They're not willing to, the wife or the husband is not willing to reduce themselves and allow the other to shine. It's all about what they can get out of the marriage and not necessarily what we can. The marriage is a we thing. 24/7. And once you start imposing what you want as opposed to what we need, you run into issues.
It's been amazing. Great conversation. The thing is, we spend so much time teaching and training kids on pursuing their occupation and their career, and we spend very little time talking about these very important things about relationship and how to, have a healthy marriage. And it's not until they're in the marriage then that we begin to train them, and some of the damage has been done. And so that's why our church is so committed to pouring in to young couples, and we do everything that we can to build healthy, strong marriages, because they build healthy families, which builds a healthy church, healthy community, healthy nation. So thank you so much for our time together. Please, again, join us. We're going to have a Zoom call at the end of this week, and we will be able to go further into this topic. I know some of you got some great questions, and we'd love to hear from you then. Thank you so much.